played in 8 games as a freshman, reads that screen there and will not let go. Tremendous play by Tackerty.
Final question, if parents, kids watching want more information about USA football, want to know how to take part, what's the best way?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to usafootball.com and they can get information on our national teams programs listed right under the programs tab.
Scott, appreciate you joining us.
Thank
Congratulations on a great game so far, and I'm sure what will be a great event all week.
Thank you very much.
Going deep, and Starkle misses his man in Muhammad Jabi, who was wide open on the flag row, but overthrown.
And you wondered it was just a matter of time before the United States took a deep shot. And here they are facing 3rd and 5, and they decide to air it out with Nick Starkle. They get Muhammad Jabi basically in single coverage and gets behind his man, but Starkle can't find him, falls incomplete, and again, another punt. I'll tell you, I know it's scoreless, and I know that Canada's not winning, but I think that if you are Warren Craney, the head coach of Canada, you are thrilled with the way that the first quarter and a half of this game is gone.
So they missed the deep ball, and on the possession before, USA set up shop 1st and goal after a special teams turnover by Canada.
Team USA, first charge, timeout.
Stavros Katsantanis with a big interception, keeping this game scoreless. 7:28 to go in the first half. The first of 8 games here this week, and the first of 2 today.
30-second timeout.
U.S. Under-19 select team will take on Canada number 18. The Under-18 team, that game will start at approximately 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 on the East Coast, here at AT&T Stadium. And I'm with you, Greg. Canada, it's obvious the speed advantage for the USA, but the tackling's been there. That's a key you talked about. And I just have to imagine the confidence of this Canada team has to be enormously high, knowing they can play with the men in blue.
This is getting into trouble zone here for the United States, because the longer you let a team like Canada hang around, the better chance they have to just come out and beat you. And right now, Canada has had more than a stomach for the fight. You could make the argument that they're outplaying the United States right now. I've been very, very impressed with Canada so far.
Join the USA Football and U.S. National Team conversation on your favorite social media channels. Just on the graphic, you can use the hashtag #EarnYourStars on Twitter.
I tweeted it, did you?
I'm about to, I promise, on our next time out.
We'll both tweet it the next time.
David Salzman, Greg Tepper with you, and another punt for Austin Kent. This short, and the catch made. Ted Kabongo, the 3rd returner for Canada. No fumble this time, and a short return to the 30.
Great tackle by Reed Harrison Ducros, another local kid out of Colleyville Heritage here in the Dallas area, Boise State pledge, and that is tremendous. And that's what college coaches want to see. If you can play safety, that's great. If you can help out on special teams, you can get on the field right away.
Canada looking to get on the board first. We'll see what they do offensively when we return.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
My dad was a high school football coach, and he wouldn't let me play till I have the proper coaching, and I'm a big believer in that. And I think with what USA Football is doing, their clinics and their teachings, it's going to be great for the game. I think all high school and youth coaches should adopt heads-up football. I think for the safety of their players, it's first and foremost. We all love the game, we all want to win, but first and foremost is those players learning the proper techniques, get them certified so we know what our young people are learning. Heads-up football for a better, safer game.
The International Bowl on ESPN3 is brought to you by EA Sports Madden NFL 16, official video game partner of USA Football, by Volt Athletics, official strength and conditioning partner of the U.S. national team, by Just Play Solutions, official digital playbook partner of the U.S. national team, and by FlipGive, official fundraising partner of USA Football.
David Salzman, Greg Tepper from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The 2016 International Bowl presented by USA Football. And as you can see, a defensive struggle as Canada preventing what was the best opportunity to score in this game by the U.S. earlier this quarter. An interception at the goal line. And now Jordy Belfiore, big 6'4" quarterback from Vancouver, British Columbia, hoping to lead Team Canada downfield. They'll start this drive at their own 30. Pressure coming. And sack for Belfiore behind the 25. Isaiah Chambers was the first one there.
You're seeing the quickness and the burst from Isaiah Chambers, the TCU pledge. This is a kid who gets off the ball as quick as anybody. Just no chance for the Canada right tackle, and he blasts through, gets the sack there. The Houston MacArthur product is a real physical specimen. You talk about a guy 6'4", 250, and he's still growing. That's dangerous for anybody in the Big 12.
Belfiore's helmet came off, so he must come out for at least one play. Moran, who started at quarterback for Team Canada, will replace him on 2nd down and 17. Stepping back and wanting to set up the screen, but nothing doing as Amankwa was well covered.
Great read here on this by number 41 for the United States, Michael Johnson. The Baylor pledge reads this and says, I see the screen coming. I'm going to go sit where he wants to throw the ball. No decision there but for Moran to throw it into the ground and live to fight another down. 3rd and long here for Canada.
Question is, on 3rd and 17, if Canada wants to throw, will they have enough time to try to get 17 yards?
Yeah, we're going to see if the United States wants to dial up some pressure here and kind of force the issue. They've got speed on the back end, and if to pick up 19 yards, going to be a 17 yards tall task for Canada.
Belfiore back in at quarterback and has to scramble. Brought down right around the line of scrimmage by Alexis Jean-Baptiste.
Second time we've called Jean-Baptiste's name. The Arkansas pledge just flying to the football. Very impressed with his athleticism, his sideline-to-sideline speed. This is a kid who's going to make an impact early and often when he signs on Wednesday with the Razorbacks and forces another Canada punt. Here we are halfway through the second quarter, and United States and Canada look like they're going to be scoreless.
How surprised are you that Canada has not looked to run the ball as much with their big offensive line?
I've been very surprised. I expected this to be the kind of game where, as a very much offsides, is Bouchon Joseph trying to get a little bit of a head start there. But I've been very surprised. I think that that Canada's biggest advantage is going to be their size up front in the running game, and not just in the offensive line, but also the running backs. Jesse Amankwa is a big, beefy running back. I'm surprised they're not trying to grind it out a little bit more, but that's why I'm sitting here in a booth, not coach.
Offense, the center, picked the ball up and didn't continue the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Bouchon Joseph gets his wish, or referee Bill Lamagnier telling us that it is a false start instead, as Peyton Hall is called for that penalty for Canada.
And Bill Lamagnier, the referee for this game, is he's officiating royalty. He started officiating in 1973. He was with the Big Ten Conference in the 90s. He was the official in the 2011 BCS National Championship game. 65 years old, still out here kicking and doing a good job keeping everybody in line.
Hutchins did a great job under pressure getting that punt away and angling it away from Trayvon Sidney. And the USA will have to start their ensuing drive in their own territory. In support of high school football across the United States, USA Football is launching USA Football 7-on-7 Championship Series this summer. Built by high school coaches for high school coaches. USA Football 7-on-7 program will feature 10 state or regional championships and 1 national championship. Check out the tournament schedule at 7on7.usafootball.com.
7-on-7 really taking over across the nation because of the passing. The passing game is getting more and more popular.
The reverse to Hartman, and there is another example of the great tackling we've seen, and maybe the MVP defensively for Canada. Katsantanis, who had the big pick earlier this quarter, comes up with the ankle tackle.
Let me tell you, this is not your grandmother's Canada team. This team is so very disciplined. I don't think they've missed a tackle yet. And you see it again from Katsantanis. Fantastic tackle. Just will not let go. And this was the thing that the United States was worried about, was that this team takes care of the football and they make sure that they tackle you on the first try. There you see it again.
Martin goes down for the loss. This time it is Eric Tuckerdine on the tackle, linebacker from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
The Canada defense has been playing lights out so far, and it's because, in order for this United States offense to really function the way it's supposed to, they need to break a tackle. They need to get out in space and make somebody miss. And right now, Canada's just refusing to miss, and it's really been the entire story of this game.
Canada has beaten the USA before. They won the 2012 IFAF World Championships in Austin with a win over the USA. USA returned the favor in the 2014 IFAF Under-19 Worlds in Kuwait 2 years ago. They'll play in China in July, and here, not enough time for Haskins to get the ball away. The sack, and it'll be 4th down and 11 for the USA.
Lawai Alako is the one who gets the sack, and he is just going to beat off the inside move. You look at that, and he is just able to be quicker than Sterling Strother, the offensive lineman. He's able to beat him inside, get to Haskins, and it's ball game from there. United States forced to punt again.
The yards are about even. One big turnover for each team. Canada fumbling a punt return, which set the USA at 1st and goal, and then the interception at the goal line, preventing the U.S. from getting on the scoreboard. This is an even game on the stat sheet and, of course, on the scoreboard with 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Kent just able to get the punt away. And another fair catch. Trouble for Canada, but it was Kabongo able to recover his own fumble. Just shy of the 20.
It's becoming increasingly clear that Canada is just, because of the rules difference and because they're just not used to physically waving their hand above their head and then catching the ball, but this is causing a lot of just timing issues and problems with them. That's the 3rd one we've seen from Canada. They're lucky to fall on this one.
There are a number of differences in the Canadian game versus the U.S. game, and of course, a factor has been the fair catch rule in the U.S., but not in Canada. Few rules more well known. There's 4 downs in the U.S. game, just 3 in Canada. 12 players on the field in the Canadian game, 11, of course, here in the U.S. One thing I didn't realize until recently, in American football, of course, the linemen can directly oppose each other on the line of scrimmage, but in Canada, they must line up 1 yard apart. It's another difference that the big men up front for Canada has had to get used to. Trying to cut back and nowhere to go. Maybe a loss on 1st down for Adam Machart. Jonathan Jones there on the stop.
Coach Sean Aguano told us before the game that Jonathan Jones has really emerged as the undisputed leader of this defense, and you see it there. He's been a vocal guy. He's a playmaker, and by the way, still undecided. So Wednesday, National Signing Day, will be a big day for the Oak Ridge, Florida product.
Yep, this is the last high school game for all the men in blue. It's not an all-star game. This is a true international competition, and lived up to that. Jones on the blitz, and boy, was Belfiore hammered as he got that ball away. Fortunately is okay, and now 2 late flags. This was after the incomplete pass, and this could be a penalty on Demerick Gary for the United States.
Jonathan Jones, we just got done talking about him. He comes completely free, untouched, and Jordy Belfiore just does not see him from the blind side, and he gets hit very hard. Great wrap-up tackle there from Jonathan Jones.
2 fouls on the play, both dead ball fouls. Personal foul. Defense, number 60. 90, my apologies, number 90. Personal foul. Offense, number 60. Those penalties cancel. They were dead ball fouls, 3rd down.
And the whole time I was looking at Belfiore, making sure he was able to get up on his own power. Unfortunately, he did. But well after the play, Demerick Gary for the U.S. and Jesse Gibbon for Canada. Extracurricular activities off your screen. And both penalties offset as we see that big hit twice.
Jonathan Jones just comes completely free and is able to get to the quarterback. And you don't think both these teams want to win this game? You're seeing these extracurriculars. These things are getting a little chippy down there. These 2 teams are in it to win it.
Another 3rd and long for Canada. And fumbled snap. Ball still on the ground. Still on the ground. It'll roll close to the goal line. It'll either be 1st and goal or Canada will have it from inside its own 1.
I think
Canada football.
My goodness. I don't think I've ever seen that. That was twice we were pretty sure that one of the teams had just secured possession, but then it just keeps going and going and going all the way back inside the one until Johnny on the spot, Drew Desjardins out of Ontario, falls in the ball, and it was already going to be a big loss for Canada, but he saves what would have been a disastrous end to half.
Team USA calls timeout.
30-second timeout.
Stops the clock with 2:01 left. As we see the play again on replay.
You think that Canada has it there, and then, 31's got it, right? No, it's still going. No, he's got it inside the half-yard line. Drew Desjardins, finally, of course, the offensive lineman who never touches the ball is the one who has to take care of the ball at the end.
Here's what's incredible. As he gets it, look at all the players in blue with the shot right around the goal line. And that's a tough play. As he's landing, he has to pick up the ball, get it against his chest, and he's able to hold on.
A half second later, and Ivory Jackson or Demeric Gary would have been on it for the United States. But then again, a half second later, and it may have squirted out again and gone through the back of the end zone. They may still be chasing it.
We assume USA will bring the pressure here as the nose of the ball, I don't think it's even at the 1 yard line. And Gregory Hutchins, the New Mexico State Aggie, finishes freshman year there in 2015, just a few months back. The big chore still catches this deep snap just ahead of the back line of the end zone.
Be very surprised if the United States just doesn't bring a full-out punt block in this situation. You've only got to go about 10.5 yards to get to the ball as opposed to the usual 16, so we'll see how quickly they can get to the ball.
Flag down, and I believe the USA has 12 men on the field. This will help Canada tremendously. I'm counting 12 men in blue, and our back judge, Jared Vinia,
Illegal substitution
agrees.
defense. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
And this is the kind of stuff that comes up when you've only been together for a week. Little things like that, like being able to count how many players are on the field, especially in special teams. That's where it can really get away from you, and it really does Canada a huge favor.
Now that 5 yards may seem like 15 for Canada as the ball now moves just ahead of the 5. Trayvon Sidney deep back for the USA, the future USC Trojan. A little more space now for Hutchins. Here they come, and the punt is away. Takes a good USA roll, and they'll have a chance to score here. They'll begin the drive ahead of Canada's 35.
They're going to find some rhythm offensively. Right now the identity of the United States has been basically nullified by this sound Canada tackling. They need to find some identity here and maybe take a shot over the top, maybe a little bit of a double move with any of these outstanding wide receivers, be it Trevon Diggs or Keneal Harry. They've got plenty of weapons. I think they need to see if they can get Kai singled up, take a shot into the end zone, and take the lead before halftime.
It'll be Nicholas Starkel at quarterback. We've seen him and Dwayne Haskins Jr. Don't expect to see Tristan Wallace at quarterback, the future Oregon Duck, because he's been with basketball at DeSoto High School. Has not made as many practices here. As Diggs hauls in the pass, brought down just shy of the 25.
Minute 42 and ticking for the United States with just one timeout. You got to think that you got enough time to march the remaining 26 yards. No need to be in too much of a hurry.
2nd down and 3 as we head towards 90 seconds remaining. Starkel lobbing a pass, has his man open and dropping the football. Angeline, the tight end.
And there's your double move. Angeline runs a little bit of a hitch and go, and you got a great pump fake from Nick Starkel, and Starkel put it on the money, but Angeline, the USC product, just can't hold in. Nice pump there by Starkel. Finds him wide open on the flag route, but it is just dropped. He was looking for the end zone before he had the football, and you're gonna have a bad time.
They always say it when they play football here, when young players do. How much is the big scoreboard a factor on the fair catches in there? You're looking back at the football, and then a huge scoreboard above you has to be in your peripheral vision. As Starkel has to scramble out on 3rd down. He's looking for Diggs and just out of his reach. Opportunities lost for the USA. It's 4th down.
Somebody needs to go and get Nick Starkel a soda or something, because right now that's 2 beautiful plays by the future Texas A&M Aggie. This one, you're seeing his mobility rolling out to the right and buying time, keeping his eyes downfield, and he has Trayvon Diggs, and he puts it pretty much on the money. That's a catch you probably expect Trayvon Diggs to make, being such a tremendous athlete. He just can't haul it in, and now 4th down, and looks like they will go for it on 4th and 3.
Ball at the Canada 26 in the scoreless game. Starkel looking for Harry, and he's got him, a touchdown. USA on the board, N'Keal Harry. The future Arizona State Sun Devil, played under American head coach Sean Iguano, gives the USA a 6-0 lead.
It wasn't necessarily pretty. I'll tell you, he's throwing into double coverage at this point, and Canada very nearly gets a hand on this one, but Nick Starkel drops it in the bucket exactly where it needed to be, and N'Keal Harry knows what to do when the ball is in there. Nice pump fake again from Nick Starkel into double coverage, but some confidence on that throw, drops it in for N'Keal Harry. Touchdown United States, and the Americans are on the board.
Took them almost the entire first half. The fumble by Canada on their last offensive possession, recovered at their own 1. Still able to get the punt away, but it helped the USA have tremendous field position. And it leads to the short drive for the scorers. They'll go for 2 with Starkel still at quarterback. Pressure coming. And that pass too high. Closest there was Sidney.
Just a pair of flood routes out to the right side. Starkel getting big time pressure in his face, and a tremendous pressure applied by Cody Peters, the linebacker out of Saskatchewan. He gets into his face and holds the United States to 6 points, but 6 points that Sean Iguano and company happy to have.
And a tough 6 points too. They've had to earn it against a game Canada under 19 squad, especially defensively. But on the touchdown pass, N'Keal Harry was able to get ahead of double coverage. Canada, all 3 timeouts left and 1:07 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to try to take a deep shot of their own. We know that the secondary for the United States is extremely talented, especially when you talk about Jared Maiden, Reed Harrison, Ducros, Sakobi Birch, Brandon Breeze, who went out a little bit earlier with injury. But if Canada can get the right circumstance, you wonder if they're going to try to air it out here with whoever they put back at quarterback. We've seen a combination of Dimitri Morand and Jordy Belfiore out of Canada Prep in Vancouver.
Well, I think overall, regardless of how the score ends at the end of this first half, if you weren't impressed with Team Canada, not just the personnel, but the way they played the game, I mean, they've shown us just how developed football is up north.
And we talked with the Canada head coach Warren Craney before the game, and he kind of mentioned that. He goes, you know what, last time around we were kind of overmatched, and he did not feel that they were overmatched in this particular game, and this is showing. They have developed in these past 2 years, and Canada has been more than game for what is really a team full of future FBS stars for the United States. This United States team has tons of talent, and Canada is hanging with them.
It's a big week for the players in blue, as you mentioned. National Signing Day coming up next week, but this week, since Tuesday at least, taking part here in practices and all the festivities surrounding the 2016 International Bowl. And then next week they'll be on to, they'll play their college football, and almost all the players on this U.S. National Under-19 roster will be playing on the FBS level. Ted Kabongo with a great return, able to take it to the outside. There is a flag down, but right around where Kabongo goes out of bounds at the 50. Good field position coming up for Canada.
Great moves from Ted Kabongo. Takes it around the 5, makes a couple men miss. A little razzle-dazzle there. Gets out to midfield. We'll check the flag, but tremendous agility and balance from Ted Kabongo, the defensive back. He looks much bigger than his 5'11 frame that he's listed at. He plays bigger. Very impressed with so far with this young man out of Calgary.
See him looking up at the big scoreboard here. He's like, where do they get the block?
I mean, to be fair, I'm looking up at the big scoreboard too, and I'm not even on the field.
Little hole behind Kabongo. The flag is down just ahead of the 45.
On the return, holding, number 9, return team. After the play, dead ball, unnecessary roughness, number 50, 15-yard penalty, first down.
There's a Chris Osei-Kusi call for the hold, but we missed the flag for the personal foul on Clifton Lewis. for Team USA. And so Canada will have this ball in USA territory. A good chance here. Just down 6 with 54 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
That's basically going to end up being a net positive for Canada. They were going to lose to, they lost what ended up being about 13 yards. They gained 15, and now they are beginning this drive a minute or 54 seconds rather, all 3 timeouts, 48 yards away from paper.
And it will be Belfiore at quarterback. The ball at the USA 48. It's one of 2 under-19 teams we'll see for Team USA today. Second game will feature the under-19 select team against the Canada under-18 squad. Belfiore in the shotgun. And a handoff on first down as Daniel Piard from Montreal, Quebec, only able to get a yard, and now a timeout called.
Timeout. Team Canada. First team timeout. 30-second timeout.
2 left for Canada.
It's not the kind of play that's going to make any sort of highlight reel, but that's a heck of a play there by Bailey McElwain, the linebacker, out of Alabama. The Stanford pledge just goes in, wraps up, keeps his head up, and drives the defender or drives the runner back. Tremendous play by Bailey McElwain. Again, not the kind of razzle-dazzle play you're going to see on SportsCenter later tonight, but I'll tell you, this was really impressive from Bailey McElwain out of Alabama.
When we talk about all the FBS schools that these USA players will play their college ball at beginning next year, it really spans across so many conferences, many of the so-called Power 5 conferences. You mentioned Alabama and the SEC. A couple of these players, in fact 3, their future at Oregon, Pac-12, Big 12, SEC, Big 10. They're all represented. Also, Conference USA, the American Conference, almost every conference represented here for Team USA. Second down and 9. Canada with the ball at the USA 47. Low snap, Belfiore controls. And trying to dump it up the middle. The catch is made. They'll give the catch to Niccolo Kalinick.
Timeout. Team Canada. Second team timeout. 30-second timeout.
The 3rd and 3 coming.
Nice little dump-off pass here, just picking up a couple of yards, and you can tell that this is a strategy for the Canada where they want to get the ball out quickly because of this really fast, really mean front 7 here for the United States. Ivory Jackson, Cedric Lattimore, Demeric Gary, Chauncey Colston. It goes on and on and on. The depth here, they can rotate in people to make sure that they are fresh. And right now, Canada has kind of countered that by saying, all right, we're just going to have a lot of quick passes. And so far, it's working. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
39 seconds remaining. First of 8 games here this week, and they'll all be on ESPN3. Mentioned the second one that Greg and I will have with the under-19 select for the U.S. against Canada under-18. Wide range of ages will be featured on Wednesday. U.S. under-14 select team. Stars versus Stripes. That's a 1 o'clock Central start on Wednesday, the first of a triple-header here at AT&T Stadium. And looking up the seam, that pass tipped. As getting behind the coverage was Rocheleau, but there were 2 American defenders there. It'll be 4th down.
15 on the defense with a shot to the head with the fist. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yet the drive will continue with Alexis Jean-Baptiste called for the personal foul.
Not a great play there. You're getting them off the field, and now all of a sudden Canada not only has a new set of downs and not only new life, but now they're on the 25-yard line, 26-yard line. This is going to put them almost within range of their kicker.
Here's the replay, and hard to see, but the flag again on Jean-Baptiste. The ball at the USA 26. Remember, the kicker for Team Canada is Gregory Hutchins, who plays FBS football at New Mexico State. Belfiore stepping up, a lot of room in front of him. Now he sees it. And the hit, here's another flag, another personal foul coming on the USA. Belfiore slid and was hit as he hit the ground.
Tremendous pocket presence here from Belfiore, and the offensive line does a good job of spreading the defense around Belfiore, creating a pocket. He runs up and he slides, and just not a smart play by the United States to hit a sliding quarterback. They're going to pick up, let's see, he's at the 20, so they're going to go about half the distance here down to the 10-yard line.
Safety is stressed so much with USA football that any play like that, you just can't do it. They're going to throw the flag on you, and rightfully so, as Bill Lamonier talks about it with his crew. Another personal foul penalty we expect for Team USA. You see the time remaining, 24 seconds left.
After the quarterback slide, personal foul, late hit number 34 with targeting. That play will be reviewed by replay. Officials timeout.
So the only play that they will review is targeting, and that's on Bailey McElwain, linebacker from Trussville, Alabama, future Stanford Cardinal. They will review this targeting play, looking at the replays that you see with us.
You see the slide there, and McElwain goes in. The question is going to be whether or not there was contact with the head. Regardless of whether or not it's targeting, simply put, Bailey McElwain's got to be smarter than this. With a running quarterback who is sliding, who is giving himself up, just go and tap him, man. Just give him a little love tap on the head and be done with it. But McElwain goes in, and now a question as to whether or not he will stay in the game.
There is Bailey McElwain. I think you hit it on the head, Greg. The hit was late.
I don't think there's any doubt that it's a late hit. We're just wondering as to whether or not it's going to be targeting. He may have in fact hit him in the chest. We'll remain to see what the review dictates. But in the end, the United States has given Canada plenty of life here, whether it was the personal foul on the kickoff return or the personal foul that extended the drive, and now you've got another one bringing them at the very least down to the 10-yard line.
This drive started after the big punt return by Ted Kabongo, and Canada's been helped out by 2 personal foul penalties. And right now waiting to see if this targeting call on Bailey McElwain will be upheld. Canada will have the ball first and goal. The nose of the ball.
Following the video review, it's been determined there was no targeting. The penalty for the late hit will be enforced. After distance to go first down, the player may remain in the game.
And here he comes. I think you saw on replay, Greg, if you agree with me, that the hit was more on the chest, not over the shoulders, and so McElwain is allowed to stay in.
Totally agree with the decision. I think that it was a smart call, not the kind of play that Bailey McElwain will want to remember because he gave them 10 free yards, but not nearly as bad as it could have been.
Team Canada had moved back, but the personal foul penalty stays. It's the targeting that's overturned. And so it is first and goal for Jordy Belfiore and Canada. Touchdown will tie, and a PAT would give them the lead. They still have 1 timeout left and 24 seconds to go in the second quarter. With pressure. Nice sliding grab. No, they'll rule it incomplete. Great effort, though, by PR.
Once again, under pressure, the pressure there applied, it looks like by Joe Wallace, the big defensive lineman out of the Dallas area, Dallas skyline you're seeing. He gets that great push, number 66, right through the center, gets a great push and pressures Belfiore. One thing to notice here is that even though this is a dome stadium, Canada's staring right into the sun because of what time it is here. It's 4:20 local time, and so this is, you wonder how Belfiore is going to be handling this.
PR in the backfield. Blitz coming. And, on the drag route, the pass just off the hand of the intended receiver, Alexander Salchiev. A flag is down, though, in the backfield.
Really like that play design. Kind of the clear out there, and they run Salchiev underneath. Just can't hit him in stride. We'll see what the penalty is.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Drew Deserle called for the hold, and now the ball moved back to the 20. Second and goal, 12 seconds left. Our lone scorer, a Nick Starkel touchdown pass to N'Keal Harry on Team USA's last possession.
12 seconds left in a touchdown, or a timeout rather, and so you've got options here. You don't have to gun for the end zone if you're Canada. That said, if you can get single coverage and you want to take a shot, I don't see anything wrong with that.
3 wides for Belfiore. And miscommunication with Salachev. Third down, 7 seconds remaining, and let's see if Canada brings out their field goal unit.
Interesting call here, because with 7 seconds left, you could run a quick play here to maybe give your kicker a little bit more room. I'm not sure if they're going to be as daring as that is. They may opt to bring Gregory Hutchinson out right now and get on the scoreboard, or they may just go for it and say, hey, let's go score a touchdown.
One thing to know, if we do see a field goal try, is we are using high school hash marks, but the goalposts are NFL goalposts. And so not as much width for any field goal or PAT try. As third down, now a timeout call. Canada's going to use their final timeout here.
Team Canada, third and final team timeout.
And so now I believe we'll see Gregory Hutchins attempt a field goal now that Canada has used their final timeout of the half.
First time we had seen them come out in 5 wides. Not sure if they were bluffing or what the situation was for Coach Warren Craney, but in any case, they called a timeout, and it looks like Gregory Hutchins, the New Mexico State Aggie out of Nova Scotia, will be joining us here to kick a field goal.
Yep, he did not attempt to kick at New Mexico State in his freshman year, held on field goals and PATs, did punt 3 times. From Bedford, Nova Scotia to Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I think there's a little bit of a difference in weather there.
Just a tad. Well, speaking of differences, now we're indoors with the roof closed, but beautiful. 72 degrees at kickoff here in Arlington, Texas. Many of these Canada players from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where it was 32. Now that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius, of course.
I can, hold on, let me report that
32 is right at 0, I know that.
It is currently -3 degrees Celsius in Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, even less,
right
okay.
Now. Greetings to our friends in Saskatoon.
37-yard field goal for Gregory Hutchins to try to cut the Canada deficit in half. And this is a line drive kick which sails left. So the USA defense holds firm and holds Canada off the scoreboard here in the first half. Just 2 seconds remaining.
He wanted to make sure he got it there, and he got it there, but bottom line was it just wasn't, began left, stayed left, hooked left, and the United States will shut out Canada, barring something wacky in these final 2 seconds, shut them out in the first half.
Good first half. Team USA scoring on a short field on the Nick Starkle touchdown pass that featured Texas A&M Aggie, and I think Canada has to be proud of how they've hung in there in the first half, but I'm sure they'll think about their mistakes as well, thinking perhaps they should be tied or even have the lead here, but it'll be Team USA. As the kneel down by Haskins will end the half, they'll go into the locker room with a 6-0 lead here at the 2016 International Bowl. Your first half thoughts, Greg?
Overall, I think that if you're Canada, you're pretty pleased with that first half. 6-0 against a team that has tons of speed. You have mitigated their speed. If it's not for little mistakes here and there, you could be tied or you could be winning this game. For the United States, I think it's been overall a bit of a sloppy performance so far in this first half. You saw turnovers, you saw penalties. They've got to clean it up in the second half. I have no doubt that Sean Aguano is going to give his team a little bit of a pep talk in the second half. But right now, I think that this is an appropriate score, 6-0. Very close game heading into the second half.
USA will get the ball first to begin half number 2. They lead Canada 6-0, the 2016 International Bowl, presented by USA Football. The 2016 International Bowl presented by USA Football on ESPN3 in a tight one. The U.S. National Under-19 team leading the Canada Under-19 squad by just a 6-0 score. Well, what is Heads Up Football? You're about to find out. One of the many great programs given to you by USA Football.
Heads Up Football is a comprehensive approach to a better, safer game.
Heads Up Football is a great program because it's bringing, number one, how we want to block, tackle, and play the game of football with our head and our eyes up.
Heads Up Football is an exciting program. We want to make sure and support it.
I've had youth coaches come up to me and say, Coach, I'm just a youth coach. And I stop them right there and say, listen, you're as important or more important than I am.
The efforts of USA Football are critically important to make the game better.
We launched a pilot program in 2012. We had 3 locations across the country. At the end of 2014, we expect more than 50% of youth leagues across all 50 states to join us.
Number one, USA Football has done a tremendous job of really educating a lot of the youth league coaches. I know at our camp we follow the guidelines USA Football teaches.
So what is Heads Up Football? It starts with every coach being certified through our nationally accredited coaching course. From there, we train a league's player safety coach who assesses and verifies that coaches comprehend the program's 4 pillars: equipment fitting, concussion awareness, heat and hydration, and heads-up tackling.
Never has there been a greater responsibility for coaches to get it right and to teach the right technique.
When you teach a young kid how to tackle, you teach him how to tackle the right way at an early age, he will always do it.
Commissioners, they care immensely about their coaches, about their parents, about the players in their respective leagues. They want to provide a better, safer experience. They need to work with USA Football and the Heads Up Football program to do that.
I would say this, is to only, as a parent, allow your child to play when you know that USA Football certification is there for the coach and that you know that he's being taught the proper fundamentals of the game.
Heads Up Tackling is going to continue to help our game improve. Heads Up Football has 4 steps. First, we want to identify a player safety coach in every organization. This is a person that has credibility amongst the coaches, amongst the parents, someone that's striving to be a leader and really wants to be part of the changing of the culture of football.
I think all high school and youth coaches should adopt Heads Up Football so we know what our young people are learning.
Well, I don't think there's anything more important to the game than the safety of the participants. And we're all in this together.
The second step is the player safety coach and the coaches work together to assess and verify that they understand proper equipment fitting, concussion management, and heads-up tackling.
If there's any gray area whatsoever, if a young man has a concussion, as we like to say, when in doubt, sit them out.
Step 3 is the moment where the player safety coach and the coaches bring the parents and the players together in what we call the Heads Up Football Safety Clinic.
It's not just, the coaches doing it. You yourself, you can be involved with the clinics and everything else. Utilize the opportunity to protect our game for future generations by educating yourselves, using USA Football and the Heads Up program.
My son was 8, coming home with all these stories about football. I knew nothing of it. So went online, Googled how to learn football, and I found USA Football. I registered as a parent, and I became a certified coach, and then I was able to understand football and make sure what the coaches were teaching my kid, who spent so much time with my kid, that they were doing it right.
And we show them Heads Up Tackling. They will be part of the solution.
Heads Up Tackling, I mean, that's the name of the game. Teach the fundamentals correctly.
So I can truly look at a parent who has those questions and say, here's what we've done.
It's the ability to directly address those men and women who volunteer their time to help the next generation of football players.
And the final step of Heads Up Football is the player safety coach continuing to work with the coaches throughout the season. Are they practicing it properly? Are they reducing helmet contacts during the practice week? And ultimately, are they applying that in the game scenarios?
They're seeing a very distinct improvement and reduction in injury. And I think that says a lot about the program.
If I can have one kid look at me the way I looked at my youth coaches and my high school coaches, that would make this worthwhile to me.
So what happens next? Heads Up Football, rooted in education, is changing behavior for the better. The response from coaches, parents, and players confirms we're heading down the right path, and there is more work to do. In addition to youth football leagues nationwide signing up for Heads Up Football, We are receiving interest from middle and high school programs across the country.
If you're an administrator at a high school, you're being asked the question, how are you making our program safer? What are you doing for my kids? We can answer that now.
This marks the first time that consistent teaching of technique and terminology in football, from youth through high school, is taking place, and that is a significant step forward.
The game has always evolved toward better technique, better teaching, safer play. Heads Up Football is just simply another step in the long history of the game.
And I think with anything, as you evolve, you learn.
If your league is not a heads-up football league, then you need to become one.
We want to ensure the health of football for a long time to come, and everyone coming to work together toward that effort. It's a terrific thing to see.
Heads Up Football for a better, safer game.
International Bowl on ESPN3 is brought to you by Siege Sports, official uniform provider of the U.S. national teams. By Field Turf, official field building grant partner of USA Football. By Physio Control, official AED partner of USA Football.
I am somebody.
I am somebody.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I am unique.
I am unique.
There's no one in the world.
There's no one in the world.
Just like me.
Just like me.
Don't let no one tell you what you can't do.
My name is Matt Woodrum. I'm 11 years old and I have cerebral palsy. But that's not going to slow me down.
Baseball makes me happy. I like real baseball because I like to run bases.
Without football, I wouldn't be who I am. I feel like I can achieve anything now.
Great things can happen. You have the courage to be yourself.
The St. Louis Rams select Michael Sam.
It's just an amazing opportunity. It shows the world what Special Olympics athletes can do. It pushes us to succeed.
Complete game for Monet Davis.
To all our men and women in uniform, we say thank you.
You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live.
All of you gonna be successful. No matter where you come from, is where you go. I plan to go to college, major in business.
The lesson you guys have learned along the journey, okay, you're never gonna forget.
7 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
If you are different like me, you just have to get out there and find a place where you belong.
Football Canada, Team Canada, the under-19 squad, making a game of this one and then some, holding the USA to just 93 yards in the first half. A defensive struggle to say the least, 6-0 USA over Canada at the 2016 International Bowl presented by USA Football. Looking at highlights, the Canada pressure from the start, Greg Tepper, has been impressive.
It's been defense. That's been the defense and special teams have been the difference here, and you see a lot of problems for Canada in fielding punts, but never mind all of that because it's Stravos Katsancinas, rather. I'm sorry to the Katsancinas family, but he picks that ball off and takes it all the way back. Canada would not be able to recover, make that count, but in the end, this Canada defense has been all over the field, giving them problems. That's not to say, though, that the U.S. defense has been any slouch.
Isaiah Chambers, Jonathan Jones, we've called their name often. Dwayne Haskins Jr., the future Ohio State Buckeye, has had his share of problems. Loye Lako with the sack for Team Canada. Defense, the name of the game. We're barely over 100 total yards in this one as Team USA leads 6-0. Here is our lone score of the game, however, the 26-yard touchdown pass. Nick Starkel, the future A&M Aggie, to N'Keal Henry. That was with just 1:07 remaining in the second quarter.
Just a beautiful ball there from Nick Starkel. Drops it in the bucket. Good enough to be our catch of the game, presented by Cutter's Gloves. And that was a great pass there from Nick Starkel in a game that has been very uneven in quarterback play. That's been a real shining star here, is Nick Starkel's pass there. He had a couple of them before that maybe should have been caught, but right now he stuck with it, put it where it needed to be for N'Keal Henry to get the only score of the game so far.
6-0. A lot of these players, especially from Team Canada, and fans too, they spend a lot of time looking up at the big scoreboard that spans from one 20-yard line to the other at the top of this beautiful facility, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The first of 8 games, 2 today, 3 Wednesday, 3 Friday, the 2016 International Bowl presented by USA Football. Team USA 93 yards of offense, Team Canada just 21. We talk about the pressure that Canada's applied. Obviously, Team USA has applied their share of pressure. What can Canada do to offset the pressure and the speed of the USA defensively?
Well, and I think that they've tried to do it. You've seen them try to set up a couple of screens, get a lot of quick passes here, a lot of slant patterns across the middle. But the problem has been that, yes, they've been able to get those passes off, but either they haven't been caught, or as soon as they're caught, they're hit. So the United States doing an excellent job of making sure that they wrap up and slow down this, make sure there's no yards after catch. That's been very impressive. So far, just a very cleanly tackled game. Offensively, I think on both sides, both teams would say they've been very sloppy. I think defensively, though, both defensive coordinators are pretty pleased with how things have gone so far.
And again, our catch of the game presented by Cutter's Gloves as Team USA leads Team Canada by a score of 6-0. The U.S. National Under-19 squad against Canada Under-18, and we'll see the touchdown pass again. It's the biggest play of the game for either team. 26 yards, Nick Starkel to N'Keal Henry.
And we haven't given enough credit here to N'Keal Henry. Tremendous concentration, keep his eye on the ball, despite the fact that there are 2 defenders closing in on him. He makes sure that he kind of basket catches it, secures the catch, gets a couple feet down, D'Anthony Dufresne.
Nick Starkel in the first half, 5 of 9 passing, 42 yards, including this 26-yard touchdown. Dwayne Haskins, 4 of 7 passing for 18 yards. Cameron Martin, as you look at our first half stats, Cameron Martin leads the way on the ground for the USA, 5 carries for 29 yards. But you see the 21 yards for Canada on 23 plays, and they have not converted a third down.
And I think that this speaks to, honestly, the short work week. Whenever you are able to just get your team together for 1 week, less than 1 week, really, then the defense, which can play on instinct, is going to be a lot better than the offense, which plays a little bit more on finesse, a little bit more on scheme. Right now, you're seeing the defense dominate in this game. Which offense can find that kind of extra push? That's probably going to be the decisive factor in this one.
Jason Price, 1 carry, 10 yards. That's the leading rusher for Canada. Jordy Belfiore, 3 of 8 passing for 11 yards. Dimitri Moran, 2 of 3 for 14 yards. Jacob Jenkins, the leading receiver for Canada, just 1 catch for 9 yards. Not a lot of yards to come by for Team Canada. Trayvon Sidney, with the return and looking to reverse field and nowhere to go. He'll lose plenty of yards trying to dash it back the other way. And in fact, brought down shy of the 15.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but just more outstanding tackling from Canada. They have come to play with their standard brand of very disciplined football. Everybody stays in their lanes on this kickoff return. That's a very, very dangerous man in Trayvon Sidney, the USC pledge, a guy who can score every time he touches the ball. But Canada, just steady as she goes, making sure that he doesn't break off the big play and setting the United States up in bad field position.
We'll see the big 6'4" quarterback from Gaithersburg, Maryland, Dwayne Haskins Jr., to begin this first drive of the second half for Team USA. A long-time commitment to Maryland, then switched to Ohio State. David Salzman, Greg Tepper with you. The first of two from AT&T Stadium today. Zone read handoff, and Spates to the outside, where the running game has certainly had most of their success. A good first down run.
You think they're going to use him at Stanford running the ball?
Just a little bit.
They might turn and hand the ball off to him. Trevor Spates, an outstanding player from very, very South Texas, the southest Texas, if you will, and he picks up a big game there. It's going to be up to the tackles. The tackles for this offensive line have got to clear space on the outside, because once they get outside, that's where the United States has their big advantage.
They've had a few good runners at Stanford over the past few years, haven't they?
One or two.
Second down, 1. Haskins looking to throw. And going deep, Hardman Jr. with the catch. The big hit, but not before he gets just shy of midfield.
Great play design here. It's play action here, faking it to the left and then roll to the right. Haskins finds his man, and Mecole Hardman Jr., who is still undecided. 32 offers on the table. He is still undecided, and that's not going to shy anybody away from him. He is a heck of an athlete out there, 5'11", 175 pounds out of Georgia.
Yeah, he'll play wide receiver or defensive back, maybe both in college. We'll see. A great college career ahead for him. Now getting it to the edge again, and N'Keal Harry. A 26-yard touchdown on the last drive of the first half for Team USA, and this big catch gets the USA in the red zone.
I expected to see a lot of these plays heading into this game because just the speed advantage that the United States has on the outside, and here they finally hook up on one of these really quick tunnel screens, just flaring the ball out. Haskins just takes a snap, immediately has one read, fires it out to N'Keal Harry, and Harry gets a great block there. Unselfish block by Mecole Hardman gets them down into the red zone.
Again to Harry. And this time the tackle made. That was so key for Canada defensively in half number 1. Elijah Walker with the stop.
And now you feel like the United States is starting to get into a rhythm, and I think that that's the biggest thing that they've got to do. One catch is going to lead to another, is going to lead to another. You got to find a rhythm in this game, and right now the United States may be settling into a groove.
Haskins on second down and 7. Zone read keeper. I don't think he got to the 15, just short.
You know, on a short week, the zone read can be very difficult to pull off, because you've got to have that great relationship between your quarterback and your running back. In this instance, Cameron Martin, the Port Arthur Memorial product, looks like he's going to get the ball. Haskins pulls it at the last minute, but Canada closes very quickly, setting up 3rd and 7 from the 15.
This will be a big stop for the Canada defense after 2 big passing plays by the USA this drive. Haskins rolling out and firing back, and the catch made, and Hardman Jr. stepping into the end zone for the score. 12-0, the USA on top.
Ohio State, you're getting one heck of a quarterback. This kid, Dwayne Haskins Jr. out of Maryland, just made a tremendous play, rolling to his right. Keeps his eyes downfield. This is so difficult for a lot of quarterbacks to do, but he keeps his eyes downfield, and Mecole Hardman Jr., give him a lot of credit in this one too. He looks and he settles in the soft spot in the zone, and then he cuts it back inside, gets into the end zone. The United States up on top, 12-0.
Easily as crisp a drive and confident a drive as the USA has had today, as the extra point is through for Austin Kent. Mecole Hardman Jr. from Dwayne Haskins Jr. 16 yards, and Team USA, the national under-19 squad, up 13-0 at the 2016 International Bowl, presented by USA Football.
It's vital that programs like Heads Up continue to be heard.
You know, you're talking about teamwork, you're talking about discipline, you're talking about understanding the value of hard work and knowing that, hey, if I sweat and this is hard and we do this together, there's a great outcome, or maybe there's not, and then you learn how to recover from that. I just think the benefits of football can't be overstated. USA Football, for a better, safer game.
This is where the real coaching happens, where playing gets safer and the game gets better, where rituals become a rite of passage and X's and O's turn into pure celebration. This is where individuals become a team, where hard work is rewarded, where differences are left at home. This is USA Football.
After being held to just 93 yards of offense the entire first half, an 86-yard touchdown drive to begin the third quarter. Team USA up 13-0. Dwayne Haskins Jr. to Mecole Hardman Jr.
Give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They hold it off just enough so that Haskins can roll out to his right, and then Haskins again keeping his eyes downfield, finding Mecole Hardman Jr. Across the middle, and the pride of Elbert County, Georgia, hits pay dirt of the International Bowl.
As you mentioned, undecided, don't know where he'll play. Only a few of the players on this Team USA roster undecided. Most have made their commitment to play college ball at a particular FBS school. Team Canada looking for a good field position on their first drive of half number 2. Adam Machart, not a lot of room to run, down just shy of the 25. 13-0 is the score, with Team USA leading Team Canada.
And this feels like a big drive for Canada. You know, we saw the United States come out and make a statement in their first drive. That was a statement that said, you know what, that first half, that was a fluke. We're here to play now, and making those decisions, making that statement in that first drive, I think was very big for the United States. Does Canada have an answer? They're going to start with Dimitri Morand back there at quarterback.
Morand played much of the first quarter for Team Canada. Good couple of cutbacks, and a third cutback. Jesse Amankwa making his way to midfield. What a run by Amankwa, the 6-foot running back from Toronto.
Mr. Amankwa, goodness gracious, what a couple of moves there. A little shake and bake in the backfield, and he is off to the races. He's got that ability there. 1, 2, and then 3. Tremendous cutting ability, and then gets back up to full speed very quickly. Easily the best offensive play of the day for Canada. Maybe they figured something out at halftime as well.
They had 21 yards all of the first half. Easily more than that on that run by Amankwa as the ball marked at the USA 49. Injured player down for the USA, back at Canada's own 30. Do not have a number yet, unfortunately. Looks like he will be helped up, but unfortunately will have to walk off the field, or will have to be helped off the field. Not able to put much pressure on that right leg. Ivory Jackson is going to be the player that comes out for Team USA, the future Texas Tech Red Raider.
This is a real shame. Of course, quote-unquote local kid. He's from the Lone Star State at Amarillo. Coach Mel Maxfield out there at Amarillo always does a great job building these guys into real hard workers. And that's what Ivory Jackson is. He's a hard worker. Texas Tech's getting a good one. Shame to see him limp off. Hope to see him back in the game real soon.
And you see Jackson 6'4", 265. They'll tend to him on the USA sideline. With Morand at quarterback from the USA 49, 1st and 10. On the fake, that pass behind Jenke and incomplete. Very special occasion. Earlier in the first half, we talked to Scott Hallenbeck, the Chief Executive Officer of USA Football, and now Richard McLean joins us. He is the president of Football Canada. We're so glad you're with us up here in the booth. And I know you're down 13-0, but fine performance. Greg and I have been very impressed by how your team looks so far.
Yes, I think as time goes on, we're putting together a stronger and stronger team. Each year building this program, really enjoying our relationship with USA Football, and being here in Dallas in the stadium is a big drawing card. And so the players are coming out, which is awesome.
How difficult has it been, and how much hard work has gone into building Football Canada and making football really take a real foothold in the Great North?
Well, I mean, Football Canada has been around for over 100 years, so we're not a new organization. Right? We're very old. We're actually the oldest football organization in the world. So we play a Canadian brand of football up north, and it is a little different. Obviously, there's lots of differences in the game. We won't get into it now, but building the participants is really what's happening. We've seen a growth in a better athlete coming out to play football, and it's showing on the field today.
After the USA penalty, a loss on second down and third down coming for Team Canada. We've already mentioned a number of players from Canada that will play on the college level next year, players off this squad. And since 2009, even if we look at the NFL, 13 Canadians have been drafted in the NFL draft, and only 16 were drafted between 1983 and 2008. That's a major difference. I mean, what started this acceleration of the quality of football up north?
I think it's just the dedication of volunteer coaches and programs across the country, and the value of football as an amazing sport for young kids to play. Certainly, the cost of football and the fact that gear is provided and the kids are well taken care of, and our coaching development program is reaching every coach in the country. So it's a very safe, sound sport to play, and that's, I think, we're paying dividends.
An event like this, what does this do for the visibility of football in Canada?
This just raises our profile. It just the closer we get, the more we see our one-on-one matchups being very, very tight against the Americans. It just lends credibility. It just lends value to the program. People are watching all across Canada. People have been tweeting me and Facebooking me all game long about how we're doing and watching on you guys on TV. So it's amazing.
Don't let them do that. and apologize to all your viewers in Quebec, because some of the names out there have been a little difficult for us.
Yep. This is Jared Maiden with the return, and I believe the flag is going to be on Canada for interfering with the catch. There is a flag down at the 20, but Maiden from nearby Rowlett, Texas, is taking the ball all the way into the end zone on the punt return. Let's see if this stands.
Regardless, you got to see the absolute athleticism of Jared Maiden out of Saxe, Texas. A tremendous player, a big-time physical corner with safety speed, or safety size rather. But you got to see that breakaway speed there and the heads-up play there. He's able to scoop and score there on what was a bit of a busted play in the punt return game. We're going to check the flag here from Coach Bill Lamagna.
3 members of our officiating crew are from Canada. The other 5 from the United States. And as that happened live, I thought the flag would be called on Benjamin Whiting for getting too close to Maiden on that return, but we'll see the call now.
Number 4 on the kicking team. The receiver did give a fair catch signal. So when the ball was recovered, it could not be advanced. The ball will be placed back at the spot. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 7:43.
I think your team just got a break there.
Please on the
well, we did, and that's punts are one of the big differences in the Canadian game,
right.
and we don't have a fair catch, and we have a 5-yard cushion. So if the player coming down there didn't see the fair catch, he may not have known what was going on.
Right.
So it's one of those issues where you're used to giving 5 yards, and then you come down here and there's no 5 yards. So he looks like he was actually trying to get away from him a bit, and playing kind of half Canadian and half American rules.
Yeah, kind of splitting the difference a bit was Benjamin Whiting.
Yeah.
Richard McLean, the president of Football Canada, with us. I think Greg alluded to this in one of his questions for you. I mean, football is, in popularity, the #1 sport in the United States. Obviously, basketball, baseball, big as well. Football, not the #1 sport in Canada. So with that competition, what do you do to continue to try to expand your grasp on young kids playing football when perhaps hockey, of course, winter sports up in Canada might be more popular?
Right. I mean, hockey, basketball, soccer are all popular, but we offer a very competitive, cost-effective way for your kid to spend his time and his free time his and hers free time, and no other sport really compares to that. The value for what we're giving the kids on the field is unbelievable, and the parents that are here today with us say that every time I see them.
And of course, the best possible advertisement you could have is playing in a stadium like this with athletes like those wearing red, really representing the football Canada very well.
Exactly, and we're here to win. Obviously, this is a great, friendly, very, very friendly, competitive competition. If you can have that, but it's realistically we're playing against a whole team of Division I commits, and our guys have chips on their shoulders, and they want to show that they're just as good, and it's doing good.
Well, we've been impressed by the product that you've put on, and of course in the past Canada has beaten the USA in these types of competitions, and so much of it is because of the job you do at Football Canada. Richard McLean, the president of Football Canada, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us.
Great
Appreciate it.
13-0 the score with the USA on top, and there is, as you see on the top of your screen, a player being tended to by the Team Canada trainers, and that's Nathan Cherry from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, unfortunately walking off the field on his own power. It'll be 3rd down and 4 coming for the U.S. as they have the ball on their own 41-yard line. They have scored on back-to-back drives. Go back to the 33-yard drive late in the second quarter. A Nick Starkel 26-yard touchdown pass to N'Keal Harry. And then to begin the second half, Dwayne Haskins Jr. found Nicole Hardman Jr. 16-yard strike, capping an 84-yard drive. And that's where we're at right now at 13-0.
Yeah, Canada caught a big-time break with the fair catch that Jared Maiden then picked up and scored. So a big break there. If they can hold them here on this 3rd and 4, that would be an even bigger turn of events.
And this is Tristan Wallace. We did not expect to see too much today. We were told we'd see him at times on the field. He's the future Oregon Duck and plays at DeSoto High School, plays basketball there, which is why he hasn't been with his teammates for practice as much.
Tristan Wallace, a very interesting case here. He's probably the most versatile of the quarterbacks that Team USA has. I don't know if he's a quarterback at the next level. He could be an H-back. If you're familiar with what they did with Braxton Miller at Ohio State, he may be destined for something like that. But a pure athlete is Tristan Wallace, now seeing some action for Team USA in the International Bowl.
Yeah, dual threat quarterback at one of the best programs in all of the state of Texas, DeSoto High School. Threw for almost 2,200 yards, ran for almost 1,500, 28 total touchdowns in his senior season at DeSoto. Committed to Oregon in mid-December.
Yeah, and a former Ohio State pledge, so I wonder what the conversations between he and Dwayne Haskins are like. It's interesting.
2nd down and 7. And we must say they've pledged or committed. They haven't signed yet. National Signing Day next week, and maybe we'll see a couple of changes, who knows, from this Team USA roster. I believe the right side of the USA offensive line jumped early.
Ball start, 86 offense, 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
We got Angel in to tight end.
We mention it all the time on TexasFootball.com that verbal commitments are non-binding. There are some people out there who graduated early who are able to go on campus and sign certain things, but it's not until Wednesday, the National Signing Day, that they're finally going to put pen to paper and make it official. There may be some surprises. Who knows?
There's Trevor Spates, who's mentioned a couple of times, and legend down in McAllen, Texas, in the Valley, future Stanford Cardinal. He'll be set up in the backfield next to Wallace on 2nd down and 12. Canada brings 5. Here comes the pressure. They want to set up the screen. Instead, Wallace has to scramble and almost intercepted off the chest of Ted Kabonga.
Broken play here, obviously, but it was broken in a number of facets. First of all, the Canada defense swarms Tristan Wallace and makes him make a decision. And then, right off of that, they have to go and it looks like Tristan Wallace is going to pull it down. And so the running back, Trevor Spates, kind of looks and starts trying to block. Well, then he throws the ball, and then it's over his head. A little bit of miscommunication there. It brings up 3rd and 11.
Big Liam Dobson on the pressure and miscommunication on the snap. This penalty will be on the center.
Offensive line. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And if we get a close shot at number 68, you'll see some real long hair flowing through the back of his helmet. He is Matthew Ryan from New Orleans, and there is his dad, Rob Ryan, former defensive coordinator here in Dallas, also in New Orleans, and soon to be in Buffalo with his brother Rex Ryan. That's Matthew Ryan, He'll be playing his college ball at Clemson, wearing number 68 for the U.S.
And I believe the legendary Buddy Ryan is here as well, so some football royalty into the house tonight.
Up the middle and a drop. Boy, Angeline's had a tough day. A couple of drops for the talented tight end who'll be playing his college ball at USC.
Nick Starkel took that snap there on 3rd and 16. Got to think that they were going to try to air it out. And they had a man, but Angeline could not hold on, and Canada gets another stop. We'll get the ball back, looking to cut into this 13-0 deficit.
This isn't an all-star game, folks. This is a true international competition. The pressure is up, and we've seen mistakes on both ends. And there's Kabongo, who we've seen have a great return earlier in this game. He'll try to set up Canada in good field position as they look to get on the scoreboard.
And an appropriate turn of phrase that the pressure is up, and unlike in all-star games, you can blitz. You can send as many players as you want. In a lot of those all-star games, you will only have you can only send 3 or 4 or I think maybe 5
offense.
blitzers.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
I'll let Bill Lamagnier finish his thought, but in this, proof that once again this is not an all-star game. You can come after the quarterback. You can bring the heat, and we have seen that from Canada at times. They've really dialed up pressure, trying to mitigate the speed that the United States has.
You can also low block as long as it is right away after the snap is made, and if it's between the tight ends. Receivers cannot low block in this game. Here's a fair catch, and again, Canada has trouble. We can't stress enough, there's no fair catch in Canadian football. And they have had quite a bit of trouble with that. And then after Kabongo spikes the ball in frustration, I believe he'll be called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah, it's tough. I certainly understand that you're kind of changing rules midstream here, but the fair catch, it's clear that the coaches have come to him and said, guys, listen.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1, receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
That obviously you can save a few of the big hits that you will take, but obviously they're having trouble with the entire idea of fair catching and then catching the ball.
Canada pinned deep back, looking to get on the scoreboard, down 13-0. The 2016 International Bowl, presented by USA Football. Two games today as the International Bowl has begun, the 7th edition at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. 3 games Wednesday and Friday. We'll see players as young as 13 years of age on a Wednesday, the first game at 1 o'clock, and then on Friday, provincial teams from Canada, 1 from Alberta, 2 from Ontario. All the games here at AT&T Stadium and all on ESPN3. David Salzman, Greg Tepper with you. Dimitri Morand at quarterback for Canada, looking to get on the scoreboard. Hard to do against this USA speed as Janke is able to get about 5 on first down.
Jenke, of course, plays for Warren Craney, the head coach at Canada, for the York Lions. They're in Edmonton, and Harry Hall's in a catch. And Jenke, a guy who's versatile, a guy who can return punts and kicks, had 11 catches for the Lions last year.
To give him a good mark, let's actually call it second down and about 4. Canada under 100 yards of offense so far. Their defense has done a marvelous job. Just one long drive by the USA today, but boy, there's not much you can do when that bulk and speed comes right into you. No chance for Adam Machart.
Pretty clear here what's going on is that Canada's got the speed, got the size. They've got big, beefy offensive linemen, quite a number of them over 300 pounds. But right now, the quickness advantage on the defensive line is belonging to the United States. They are quicker off the ball, they're quicker off the snap, and they're getting in the backfield and wreaking havoc.
Yeah, much like the U.S., this Canadian team has only been together since Tuesday, and even though we were told they've installed more offensively than what they have in previous years, they can only install so much. Now they spread it out on 3rd and 6. A 5-wide set for Morand. Pressure coming again, and almost a nice catch made just out of the hands of Rochelot.
Nice route combination. If Rochelot had been able to haul that one in, he would have had a little bit of green in front of him and probably would have gotten the first down. Unable to reach out and grab it, and Canada will be forced to punt.
Foshan Joseph on the pressure. And Gregory Hutchins, who has been busy today, as you mentioned, Greg, another punt. As even though we're at AT&T Stadium with the roof closed, the sun is right in the face of Trayvon Sidney, who's just shy of midfield. Hutchins will have to catch the deep snap right around the 2. And now a flag down as the play clock is down to 0.
Kicking team, number 6. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Bill Lamonier and company have been busy. The refereeing crew doing a great job keeping this one in order. A lot of flags. I think that's something we expected to see, just because the short turnaround, putting this team together really in about a week, playing together, and a little bit of rust coming off.
So Hutchins, the New Mexico State Aggie, then we'll have to catch this on the W in the end zone. A high snap, he's able to control. And putting this away from Sidney, it'll bounce out of bounds shy of midfield. 3:02 remaining, third quarter. A 13-0 lead for the U.S. National Under-19 squad over the Canada Under-19 team. Well, each year, USA Football offers youth and high school programs with more than $2 million in grants, providing teams with much-needed helmets, shoulder pads, uniforms, fields, and AEDs. If you're interested in receiving funding from USA Football, visit usafootball.com/grants.
And David, we've seen that the USA Football folks putting on a fine event here. It's not just what you're seeing on the TV, but also behind the scenes. A lot of work has clearly gone into this event, and so far it's been a monumental event, and a lot more to come. 7 more games after this.
Christopher Evans on the carry. Future Michigan Wolverine brought down for a loss, but there was a flag down.
I think he might have got a bit of face mask there.
Personal foul, face mask. 76 defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
And they'll bring the ball in Canada territory even deeper.
We haven't spoken a lot about Christopher Evans, the running back heading to Michigan, but he is a very shifty, very quick-footed running back, a guy who averaged nearly 6 yards a carry for Indianapolis Davis High School there in Indianapolis. This is a guy who I think is going to see the field pretty early at Michigan, a guy who's quite a superstar in the making.
And Evans again, this time stopped for no gain.
And you could see it, even though that's only there for 1 yard. You could see it when he took the ball, the quick feet. Being able to change direction very quickly. He's built like a running back who's built to last. Big tree trunk legs, but when you've got those quick feet along with those powerful legs, it's a dangerous combination.
Sure is excited to play for a Jim Harbaugh offense. This will be playing in Ann Arbor. Great grab this time, Angeline, and brought down past the 10. Couple of drops, and that time he had to spin to make the grab, and he sets up first and goal. A nice recovery by Angeline.
The most amazing thing about this is that this is probably the toughest of the 3 balls that he's been thrown. But he makes a tremendous play, great body control once he gets into the air, secures the catch and turns upfield after securing the catch and picks up a couple of yards. That's a heck of a play there from Kerry Angeline.
Ball just ahead of the 9. USA looking to extend a 13-0 lead late in the 3rd. Pressure and a beautiful grab extending his hands. The touchdown for N'Keal Harry. What a catch and what a throw by Starkel, who was in immediately after.
Nick Starkel hangs in there and fires a strike there to N'Keal Harry. And N'Keal Harry, goodness gracious, the Arizona State pledge out of Chandler, Arizona, just goes out there and grabs it. Tremendous play from N'Keal Harry. He gets to ride in the front seat on the way home because he's a good guy at sports.
And that was a bullet throw, too. Came at him quick and able to extend those hands and make the tremendous grab to make it 19-0.
And you see the length. His arms hang down basically to his knees. He is a tremendous athlete, great measurables as the extra point is good, and a little bit of extracurriculars going on.
Well, look out. Flags are thrown as having to be pushed away is Harry after his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. And that may have been more than just some pushing and shoving, as our officiating crew is going to talk this one over.
Emotions running high here in this game. Obviously, both teams in this to win it, and I think that because this game is so close, because this game has been so nip and tuck, I think that emotions starting to boil over a little bit. Canada now falling behind 20-0, and the United States and Canada scrapping it.
Point after touchdown. Dead ball, personal foul, number 75. That will be enforced on the kickoff. Dead ball, personal foul, number 11. Threw a punch. He's disqualified from the game.
That's the last thing you want to see. A talented player in a game like this, pitting two of the national teams from both the USA and Canada. Last thing you want to see is that extracurricular activity. And Harry, and when I saw it too live, I thought perhaps it was more than pushing and shoving. And Harry has been disqualified. And Julio Garcia, the second, also called for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for Team USA. Time now for our highlight of the game presented by Huddle. And just before that unfortunate incident, the catch for N'Keal Harry. Beautiful grab, his 2nd touchdown catch of the game.
Yeah, a great athletic play here to extend and use every bit of his length to go and get that ball. A tremendous catch, and Nick Starkel hangs in there and fires the pass to N'Keal Harry. A shame we won't see him for the rest of the game, but got to be smarter out there.
Harry, who played his high school football at Chandler under head coach Sean Iguana, who is the head coach of the U.S. National Under-19 squad.
The kickoff will be from the 10-yard line.
I was about to say, and as Bill Lamonier just tells us, this kickoff will be from the 10. So Harry pleading his case, but Canada should get very good field position here.
You know, the saying in baseball is that something new happens every time you go to the park. I'm not sure I've ever seen a kickoff from the 10-yard line, but we're bringing it to you live, folks, at the International Bowl here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
And as they should, with 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, you just don't take one, you put it on top of each other, and that's why from the 10, the ball will be teed up, and Ted Kabongo or Adam Achart will have a good chance to return this into USA territory, an area where Canada has been in rarely today, only once, I believe, by our last count. 20-0 our score. This was scoreless until late in the 2nd quarter when Nick Starkel found N'Keal Harry for a 26-yard strike. It was a 6-0 halftime lead for the U.S. They would receive the kickoff to open the 2nd half and drive 84 yards. Dwayne Haskins Jr. finding Nicole Hardman Jr. a 16-yard strike to make it 13-0. And just a few minutes ago, our highlight of the game, as you just saw, Starkel finding Harry. 2nd time that combination has produced points. 20-0 our score here at the 2016 International Bowl. First of 8 games we'll have for you here in Arlington, Texas on ESPN3. A squibber, and Machart will have it just ahead of his 30. And he won't be able to get to midfield. Nice tackle made, Bailey McElwain. And again, some squabbling between both sides. As you said it, Greg, this is getting chippy now with this 20-point lead for the USA.
Yeah, emotions starting to boil over here, and I think both coaches need to pull their teams together and say, and I think you're seeing that exactly. The referee Bill Lamagnier coming over to the United States side and saying, "Listen, we are not going to tolerate this. We're going to make sure that this game is safe. We're going to make sure that everybody's out here and acting as sportsmen." And that's the right move from Bill Lamagnier.
Yeah, you can't see
offside on the kicking team. Number 10, 5-yard penalty tacked on, first down.
And you can't see it yet on your screen, but the entire U.S. team is around Sean Aguano, and this was after you mentioned, Greg, Bill Lamagnier, referee, started talking to the USA players to simmer things down, as it has been getting heated these last few minutes.
And football's an emotional game, and I don't think anybody wants to take the emotions out of it, but you've got to be able to channel it. And so far here in this second half, we've seen a little bit more of the emotions boiling over. Who is able to control their emotions going forward will probably have a lot to do with who comes out in the game.
So the ball right at the 50 for Jordi Belfiore, one of two quarterbacks we've seen for Canada, and early movement before the snap.
I think everybody moved except the center didn't snap it. I think that's what we saw.
Ball start, 62 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
They'll get Zach Williams from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
You mentioned Manitoba. There's a lot of, you're able to look at this Canada roster and tell where the football areas of Canada have really emerged. You're seeing a lot of Quebec, you're seeing a lot of Edmonton, you're seeing Ontario, Vancouver, kind of the big areas as the quarterback Belfiore will fall on it. But you're not seeing a ton of players. I think that's something that Football Canada would admit that they have to do is kind of get into some of these other areas that don't have those football footholds. It's growing. It's clear that it's growing in Canada, but there's parts of Canada that have embraced it more than others.
And also Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, 8 players from Saskatchewan on this squad.
Saskatoon, stand up. All right.
Some of those players may go on to play for Canada in the IFAF Under-19 World Championships. They'll take place in China. Will feature 8 countries in July. USA defeated Canada for the title in 2014 in Kuwait. Canada defeated the U.S. in Austin in 2012 to take the IFAF Under-19 World Championship, as that pass falls incomplete from Belfiore.
So there's a lot more than just this international bowl. There's a lot of things that USA football is involved in as far as international competition, and I think that's kind of one of the misconceptions is that football is just an American game. It's not just an American and Canadian game. It's all over the world. A lot of places around the world are playing football. Football is growing worldwide, and that's a good thing.
And they're looking to expand this international bowl. We were told that perhaps the next time this event takes place, teams from Japan, maybe Mexico will be here, not just from the U.S. or Canada. Belfiore, nothing open, so scrambling straight ahead. He's just able to get to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th and 17.
First one there was Ken McLaurin, the first time we've called his name, the Denton Ryan product from just north of here. If you drive about 40 minutes north of where we are right now, David, we would run into Denton Ryan High School, and Coach Dave Hennigan and company do a great job building a lot of great defensive linemen. Mario Edwards, the former Florida State product, now in the NFL, is a former Denton Ryan product, and Ken McLaurin, just the latest, an SMU pledge. 11 sacks last year.
Hutchins to punt it away. McLaurin plays football at SMU. And the rugby-style kick. Well over Sydney's head, and Canada's going to pin the USA deep in their own territory, right around the 6, as that'll end the third quarter of play. First of 8 games, the International Bowl, and the U.S. National Under-19 squad. 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, extending their lead over the Canada Under-19 team, 20-0. The International Bowl, presented by USA Football.
So it's same as sports performance, whether we're talking about Olympic athletes or middle school and high school athletes. The foundation is the same. We want to remove dysfunction and then build upon their sport-specific movements to allow them to function at a very high level on and off the field.
You could be the best in your house.
And then you're safe.
Then get all the love.
You could be the best in this house.
You could be faster than the fastest.
You could carry on the legs.
Then add a couple of these.
And then everyone want to be like you.
And you can stop there, but you won't. Because you're not done yet.
For the athletes moving the game forward, Gatorade's creating the fuel to do the same. Fueling today, fueling the future.
It is the culmination of every great life lesson, all rolled into one spectacular game that builds relationships. It adds a mental toughness in terms of having to deal with adversity, having to deal with success, having to work as a team. It lives with you forever. Everything that you learn in this great game lives with you forever. USA Football and the American Athletic Conference for a better, safer game.
Hey fans, USA Football offers high school and youth programs the chance to use the nation's premier health and safety education and training program. Heads Up Football delivers training on equipment fitting, proper tackling and blocking technique, and education on concussion management, heat and hydration, sudden cardiac arrest, and a few other things. Visit usafootball.com/headsup to learn how your football program can register for Heads Up Football. And David, we talked about it, about how USA Football safety is so important to what they do.
And one of many great programs that USA Football puts on, including this great event that will span all week at AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. The International Bowl will have our second game about a half hour after this first one is completed. The U.S. Under-19 Select Squad taking on the Canada Under-18 team. Here in our first game, 20-0. The U.S. national team on top. Through 3 quarters, 225 yards for the USA, just 49 for Canada. 169 of those yards for the U.S. through the air. Dwayne Haskins, 8 of 11, now 9 of 12 passing as he's able to dump it off to McElwain. And that's a first down, getting the U.S. out from deep in their own end.
Talk about versatility. We've called Bailey McElwain's number a few times on defense, and here they line him up basically at an H-back type thing, and they're going to flare him out on a play action. Haskins going to hit him in stride. He'll turn it upfield, and that's the kind of versatility that's heading to Palo Alto. He's a Stanford commit.
Dwayne Haskins now 9 of 12, over 100 yards passing. Nick Starkel, 7 of 12 for 75 yards, 2 scores. N'Keal Henry, before being ejected from this game for throwing a punch as a flag is down on the catch to Sidney. Harry, 5 catches, 75 yards, 2 scores. And Mecole Hardman, 5 catches, 55 yards and a score as Sidney gets up limping.
Holding offense, number 4. 10-yard previous spot, still first down.
It is Hardman on the penalty.
They once again tried to go out to that kind of tunnel screen, wide receiver screen, and just a little bit of jersey Mecole Hardman Jr. grab.
Line of scrimmage was the 24. This brought back to the 14. First down and 20 for the U.S. national team. Canada has forced 5 USA punts, though Canada has punted 8 times, and Canada has not converted a third down. As mentioned a moment ago, just 49 yards of offense. In fact, for the U.S., 225 through the third quarter, 134 of those yards in just the third quarter alone. Here's Mohamed Jabi, and brought down just past the 20-yard line. Future Rutgers product from Dayton, New Jersey.
We haven't called his name a whole lot today, but He's one of just a bevy of big-time weapons for this United States national team offense. The Rutgers pledge, hauled in 6 touchdowns as a senior this year, and he's staying home in New Jersey playing at Rutgers. Quite a playmaker out there.
First team All-Metro, which includes New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Mohamed Jabi. And up the middle, was unable to break out of his cut, Angeline. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Run a bit of a seam route there, and he was more or less, I think that was a hot route there called by Dwayne Haskins, and he had Kerry Angeline free, but just couldn't hook up with him. Going to bring up 3rd and long for the United States national team.
9:40 remaining, 12-minute quarters here in this game today. As the U.S. looks for the victory. Tremendous defensively. The offense has gotten going here in the second half. And now we see the speed of Haskins sliding just past the first down marker.
Great awareness there from Dwayne Haskins. This is a situation where Canada came up and showed blitz. They showed a ton of people at the line of scrimmage, maybe as many as 9. Then they back off. He's able to read the defense, realize that it's man coverage. Everyone's following their receivers deep. He takes off right behind him, picks up the first down, 12 yards.
What long strides, too, for Haskins.
Yeah, it took 4 steps.
Yep, 6'4" of him. This time, Canada's ready for him as Keen Aralamana is able to bring him down from Laval, Quebec.
Let me ask you what you think of his mouthpiece. It's got the fangs on it. I've been noticing that all game. That's if you see that running at you, do you really want to tackle him? I mean, that's scary stuff.
If he's coming at me full speed, especially with his long strides at 6'4", there's a lot of excitement up in Columbus, I know, for him, who was a long-time commit to Maryland before making the switch. Just past the 40-yard line, a good run by Evans.
You're seeing a lot of cycling in running backs. We've seen a lot of Christopher Evans. We've seen a lot of Trevor Spates. We've seen a number of different running backs. Cameron Martin, the speedster out of Port Arthur. We've seen them kind of mix these games, the carries up, make sure everybody gets a few touches. That's not so much because they want to get them touches. That's really because they're all so good.
Number of schools went after Evans. Here's a nice catch made by Jabi at midfield. That'll be enough to move the chains. Evans receiving offers from every MAC school, also Michigan State, Indiana, Purdue, but deciding to go to Michigan. And Jabi, a great future as well for him, as we mentioned, going to Rutgers. Almost every one of these players on the U.S. national team, the under-19 national squad, will be playing FBS football next year. Haskins on the keeper. Good strength, dragging a couple of defenders with him, a couple of extra yards. He picks up just a little more than 6 on that first down run.
You mentioned how tall he is, and he has great length to him. It's 6'4", and he's every bit of 6'4", but don't forget, he's 205 pounds. He's a bit of a load, so if he needs to drop the shoulder and run over a guy, he can do that.
2nd down and 4 for the U.S. Evans. He has a quick cut. Well, I know why they are excited about him over at Michigan, but Team Canada was right there to limit the gain to just about a yard, and I believe that was Laco on the stop. So a great game for Team Canada wearing number 47.
In between the tackles, the United States has not been able to run the ball, and that is a credit to this Canadian front 7. The linebacker play has been excellent. The defensive line has held its own. This has been a really excellent game, I think, for the front 7. When the United States have done their damage, it's been outside the tackles.
3rd down and 3. It's Wallace at quarterback and hammered down just shy of the first down marker. Katsantanis, who has had himself one heck of a game, makes the stop to force 4th down.
We heard from Coach Sean Aguano that we may or may not see Tristan Wallace. We've mentioned earlier in the broadcast about how he's missed a couple of practices due to basketball commitments, but he did say that they had a couple plays drawn up for him that were going to be specially made for him, and I think that was one of them. Tremendous play from Katsantanis to catch him from behind. You don't hear that a lot. Tristan Wallace caught from behind is not a phrase that gets said a lot.
They go for it. Evans trying to turn the corner and will. A first down and more past the 35-yard line as they keep the drive alive. Deshaun Stevens, who Team Canada is very high about, the linebacker, making the stop, but too late to prevent the drive to be stopped.
You get the feeling that that was probably getting there. Canada needed to stop there. And that right there, get him off the field. Maybe you have a chance to come back in this one, but that one really, really hurts.
A first set of downs for the U.S. and Haskins stepping up and trying to get away from Locko. He does. Now fires, and the catch made! And a touchdown! A flag is down. Regardless, what a job by Haskins hanging in there. And the catch made by Trey Udofia.
Personal foul, face mask, 47 defense. The touchdown is good. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Wow, wow, wow. That is a wow factor play from Dwayne Haskins, a guy who stays in the pocket. He will not give up on this play. He's got a defender in his face, a guy who's about to bring him down. He fights away, fires it up. Here we go. He's going to get in, basically take a sack, right? He's going to get away, fire it deep, and find Trey Udofia all alone in the end zone. Touchdown, United States. That is a transcendent play from Dwayne Haskins.
A great grab by Udofia. He's pledged to Colorado. USA has to call timeout.
Timeout, Team USA. First charge timeout.
My goodness, that was a heck of a play by Dwayne Haskins. If you weren't a believer in Dwayne Haskins Jr., I think you should be now. He may have just jumped onto your radar.
Yeah, Urban Meyer and company, they're used to having some great quarterbacks wearing the scarlet and gray, and Dwayne Haskins to join them. And how about number 12, Trey Udofia, the great grab to put the U.S. up 26-0.
Sports and USA Football team up to bring you the U.S. National Team MVP. Grab yours and score a touchdown.
ESPN3 is brought to you by Shock Doctor, official mouthguard of USA Football and the U.S. National Team. By Chi-Chi, La Victoria, and Holy Guacamole, proud supporters of USA Football and USA Football's quest for a better, safer game. And by St. Vincent Sports Performance, official sports medicine partner of the U.S. National Team program.
David Salzman, Greg Tepper with you from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The 2016 International Bowl presented by USA Football. And after we were scoreless until late in the second quarter, it's been domination by the team in blue. That extra point is blocked, picked up by the holder, Trayvon Diggs, and he's brought down. So Canada keeps it at 26-0 with 5:43 remaining in the fourth quarter.
I think that was Sky King, the defensive lineman from, as the lights have come on here at AT&T Stadium. Sky King, I think, got a big mid up and just swatted the thing down. I think it's number 55. Yeah, he sure did. My goodness. Just gets a big paw up there and says, get out of here. As the block the extra point keeps this game 26-0.
Well, we've said it already. The performance by this team in red, Team Canada, has been impressive. I just think as the game's gone along, just too much speed.
Penalty from the previous play will be assessed on the kickoff.
So a penalty to be assessed on the kickoff, but there's no quarterback like Dwayne Haskins in Canada. I mean, they play as hard as they can, but you have a guy 6'4" who's able to get away from pressure in the touchdown we just saw, and then getting away from pressure, the dart from about 40-plus yards out. Really, in the end, has been the speed and the strength of this U.S. offense that is tired out, staunch effort by this Canadian defense.
It took a while. It took pretty much the entire first half for the United States to finally get up to speed, and I think that that's a credit to Canada. I think that says as much about the Canadian defense as it does about the American offense. But once it was a little bit like Novocaine, took a little bit of time to take hold, but once it did, the fireworks have come out for the United States offense, and Canada just simply doesn't have the speed to match up with them.
18 Canadians, this is in 2015, 18 Canadians signed to play football in the U.S. on the Division I level, 12 to FBS schools and 6 to the FCS. And we talked to Richard McLean, the president of Football Canada, about this last quarter, how more and more Canadians are being drafted to play in the pro ranks in the NFL. So the penalty was on Canada on the extra point try, and so the deep kick, and Kabongo will take the knee for the touchback. But again, 13 Canadians have been drafted since 2009 to play in the NFL. 16 Canadians were selected in 26 total drafts between 1983 and 2008. So that's a testament to the development of football in Canada. Not just these young players who will play in college, many of them in the States, but also moving on. There was just one Canadian drafted in 2015. That was Christian Covington, the defensive tackle for the Houston Texans. 4 in 2014, including T.J. Jones, the Notre Dame receiver, who was drafted by Detroit. And you go down the list. Austin Collie, drafted in 2009 by the Colts. Luke Wilson, also at Rice, has played a big part in Seattle's 2 runs to the Super Bowl. One, of course, winning it all. It's a miscommunication, and Moran is going to go down on first. And a flag down, we may get a face mask called. And this will mean an automatic first down for Canada. But long story short, the talent pool getting better and deeper for Canadian football.
I think that's exactly
Personal
right.
foul, face mask. Number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Get Austin Robertson on the penalty.
Yeah, it's not just that the numbers are going up, and that is absolutely true as far as Football Canada is concerned. The participation numbers are increasing every year for Football Canada. But beyond that, the top end of it is also rising. They are getting some legit stars that are coming out of Canada, and I think that that's a testament to the investment that Football Canada has put into it, that they've said, look, we want to make this a big deal in our country, and it sure has become a big deal, as you're seeing today, where one of the, they're going up against a team full of future college stars, and they are really hanging with them.
Pass incomplete to Jason Price, and it'll be second down and 10. One of the 13 Canadians drafted since 2009 in the first round. That was Danny Watkins, who played down the road at Baylor and Waco, Texas, drafted by the Eagles. Second round pick, Orlando Franklin, also in 2011, played his college ball at Miami of Florida. Denver drafted him. So not only are players being drafted, but playing big roles on their respective NFL teams from Canada.
Yeah, Canada, it's not just an American game anymore. We've said it throughout the broadcast. It's not just an American game. It is the world's game, and that's beginning in Canada.
Good run, and still going. What an effort by Dynel PR. 6'2" tailback from Montreal, able to move the chains, getting all the way to the USA 46.
That was some burst. Dynel Pierre goes and takes it, makes a man miss, follows his blocker, stays on his feet. Tremendous balance from Dynel Pierre out of Montreal, a guy who is 6'2", 200. He's got the size you like, and there he moves the chains for Canada.
Canada looking to get on the board. As you see the time winding down, just under 5 minutes in the fourth, the first of 8 games this week at the 2016 International Bowl. Flag down. Maybe a free play here for Moran. Just trying to get out of the way of big Austin Robertson chasing him down. The pass is incomplete.
We're starting to see Austin Robertson make his presence felt. The Michigan State commit is, he's a freakish athlete, okay? 6'5", 260, he is a monster out there. Still a little bit raw. I think he needs a little bit more polish once he gets to East Lansing, but you know that they're going to put that polish on him, and when he does, he's got all the physical tools to be a star.
So many big games, of course, take place here at AT&T Stadium. Michigan State falling to Alabama in the national semifinal.
Number 9. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Just mentioned Ohio State. They won it all here 2 years ago, and for USA football to be able to bring one of their biggest products here, the International Bowl, to AT&T Stadium really shows just how much, not just USA football, but this game has expanded throughout the years, as the offsides call on the U.S. makes it 1st and 5 from the U.S. 41. And look out right as he makes the catch, Jacob Janke. No room to go. That speedy pursuit on the edge by the U.S. defense.
Reed Harrison Ducros again. We've called his names a couple of times. He is just a straight-up playmaker heading to Boise State. A star for Joe Willis and company at Colleyville Heritage here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a local boy making an impact on the international stage.
Interesting. We talk about all these U.S. players about to play college ball next season, and we talked to Warren Craney and those surrounding Football Canada, and Warren Craney's the head coach at York University, and he says that Canada is about 25 years behind the U.S. in terms of recruiting. And as we see, another good run up the middle by PR to set up 3rd down and short. So I thought the rules are different. The rules are pretty much the same, but he says the compliance is different. So he called it the Wild West. There's a lot less compliance and regulation and oversight, I guess is the best term to use, when it comes to recruiting players in Canada to play college football.
For example, Wednesday's a big day for us, right? It's National Signing Day. They don't have National Signing Day in Canada. You pretty much just say, hey, come play for my team. And then, these were his words, not mine, you pretty much just hope that the kid shows up on campus.
Is that amazing?
It's a lot more, I think, informal at this point, but he said they're about 25 years behind them, behind the United States, as the United States holds on 3rd down. About 25 years behind them as far as recruiting is concerned, but this is a big deal for them because we see so much about, you talked about Canadian players coming down to play United States college football. I think there may be a movement towards the inverse now. I think you may be able to see a few different American players, more and more American players, maybe heading up north of the border to play college football as the game expands and grows.
And in Canada, it is a true 365-day-a-year job because there's no blackout periods like there are in the States. That at least gives coaching staffs college football here in the States a little time to rest, if you will, at least not be allowed to contact the athletes they're recruiting. Beautiful coverage all the way downfield by Harrison Ducros on Chris Osekusi.
And that was 4th down, so the United States will take over on downs on their own 38, and United States in control of this one.
26-0, 2:15 to go. The U.S. Under-19 national team about to win Game 1 of the 2016 International Bowl. 26-0 in a game that has been closer than the score looks. We were scoreless until very late in the second quarter, but too much U.S. under-19 national team as this game has gone long. He thinks it's over, but
oh man, come on, man.
he may stay for the second game, and that game expected to be closer. We're told the Canada under-18 team, maybe not as much experience, but as much talent as this under-19 squad, as a flag is down on the Sydney Jets sweep. It's the U.S. under-19 select team, so the second team of under-19 players for the U.S. against the Canada under-18 team converts to this under-19 team for Canada we're seeing here today in our first game. Bill Amanye's been busy.
Holding, offense, number 4, 10-yard penalty to the spot. Still first down.
Mecole Hardman Jr., second penalty around the edge on a run.
Now, are we calling this next game too, or can I?
We are. You can leave. I'm staying.
Oh,
but that makes my job a lot harder.
Okay.
I'd much prefer you be here.
All right, I'll stick around then. I guess I will. I think that the next game is going to be very interesting. It's kicking off, scheduled to kick off at about 6 o'clock. It may kick off a little bit after that, but I think it's going to be very interesting. This United States under-19 select team, we talked with their coach a little bit earlier, and he mentioned...
Ball start, 60 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's on Darda Lee.
That maybe they don't have the star power, right? Maybe they don't have those big-time headliners that the United States national team does under-19, but they are as heady and full of football IQ as you're going to see. And going up against a very good under-18 Canadian team, I think it's going to be one heck of a game.
And that is set to start a half hour after this one is completed, as almost Katsantanis got his second interception of the day. A good diving effort.
My goodness. Stavros Katsantanis has been everywhere. I mean, it's going to be in a losing effort, but he has been one heck of a playmaker out there. He nearly comes up with the interception out there. You know, he played as a freshman. We mentioned he was the national championship game MVP at the free safety position, playing for UBC Thunderbirds in Vancouver. He is a playmaker. I'll tell you, I don't care what color jersey he's wearing. He can play for anybody.
Shanaguana looks on. His team 87 seconds away from victory. And Starkel at quarterback. Setting up the bubble, and down is Cameron Martin, and ball down as well, and they're going to give it to Canada. It's a turnover. Canada recovering the fumble here late in the fourth.
Yeah, they set up the screen to the right side and had some blockers out in front of Cameron Martin, but I think one of the Canadian players just flat out got a paw on it and just knocked it loose. Canada takes over in good field position, hoping to get on the board here in the final 75 seconds of this game.
They'll have it at the USA 24, and believe me, they will do all they can to put points on the board before we're done here. As here comes the Canada offense, and it'll be Jordy Belfiore, one of the two quarterbacks we've seen for Canada, to get the roll at the QB spot on this possession. Jesse Amonquez had a couple of nice runs in the second half. Is in the backfield behind him in the pistol. Belfiore to throw. And look out! 2 seconds later, he goes down. Just no time to step up. Chauncey Golston, future Iowa Hawkeye, with the sack.
Great speed for this kid. I mean, for his size, you look at a guy who's 6'5", 225 pounds, you think, okay, he's going to be this big plodding guy. You see that quick first step. You see that burst off the edge, and Jordy Belfiore, the quarterback for Canada, just has no chance off the blind side as he comes through, powers past his defender, and gets in there. A freakish type athlete, this Chauncey Golston. He's going to be a good one for the Hawkeyes.
Canada not electing to use one of their 3 timeouts, so we're down now approaching the 30-second mark. Again, the USA blitzes. And deep in one-on-one coverage, that pass just through the hands. Incomplete of Salachev. Good coverage downfield by DeAndre Pierce.
We haven't called his name a whole lot today, but the Californian DeAndre Pierce, excellent coverage in that one. And he's another guy who, yes, he's a great cover guy, but the book on him, the book on DeAndre Pierce, if you want to go YouTube him, you can see he can also rush the passer. But right there, tremendous position there to break up the pass and keep Canada off the scoreboard.
26 seconds left, 3rd down, 16. Ball just ahead of the USA 30. Canada trying to get on the board before we're done. Again, the pressure applied and no chance. Jonathan Jones this time. talk about Canada wanting to put points on the board. You don't think the U.S. wants to preserve this shutout? Bringing the heat late in the fourth.
And again, just the speed at work here. First of all, it's a numbers game. That's a blown blocking assignment. You had two guys blocking one guy, and then you got some guy coming free off the right side. Jonathan Jones, once again, untouched. That's the second big-time sack that he's had in this game, and he has been everywhere for the United States national team defense, and a big reason why they are heading for an emphatic victory.
Quickly, let's look at one of our two-game MVPs presented by Riddell, and it is Stavros Katsantanis.
That tackle,
a beautiful tackle, and also a big interception late in the second quarter.
He has been, Stavros Katsantanis, again, it's going to be in a losing effort, but I think he may have been the most consistently excellent player in this game. Every time we called his name, every time we saw him, he was doing something positive.
The timeout was called by Canada, and it sets up a 53-yard field goal try, which is blocked. And now trying to lateral it, Canada does, but into the hands of the player in blue, Sherrod Thompson, and it's the USA that scores with 4 seconds left. The lateral by the holder Hunchak right into the hands of Thompson, and his teammates mob him 32-0.
You can't fault Canada for trying to make a play here. They're trying to get on the board here, and with a blocked field goal, they're just trying to make something happen. But a heads-up play by Sherrod Thompson heading to Oregon State, and boy howdy, he gets loose, and he has a convoy of blockers. The block, it looks like, came from Jordan Parker, a guy we haven't called his name a whole lot, out of California, out of Pittsburgh. He blocks the blocks the field goal. The lateral ends up getting into the hands of Sherrod Thompson. Here you go. And that's Jordan Parker off the edge getting the block, and then just trying to make the lateral, and it's pretty much intercepted by Sherrod Thompson. And he signs that one. See you in the car. Best wishes, Millhouse.
Extra point is good by Kent, and 33-0. The score. They're still celebrating on the sidelines.
I think he's just tired, man. Wouldn't you be?
The culmination of one heck of a defensive and their special teams performance by this U.S. Under-19 national team. They will win the first game of the 2016 International Bowl going out in style. Time now for our USA MVP presented by Riddell, and it's Dwayne Haskins Jr. Couple of touchdown throws. In addition to that beautiful pass to Mecole Hardman Jr. And Haskins Jr. in the second half really showing his mettle as 2 touchdown passes. This one to Hardman. And then Trey Udofia, the recipient of the second touchdown grab after one heck of an effort by Dwayne Haskins.
If you look at Dwayne Haskins' game when he was just standing in the pocket and throwing, you'd say he had a fine game. But it was his ability to escape the pressure, his ability to expand the play, extend the play, and get out into space and make plays on the run that really set him apart, and I think was the MVP for the Americans.
Dwayne Haskins Jr., future Ohio State Buckeye. There he is. All smiles now as they had to earn it, pulling away in the second half, but it was just 6-0 at the half, and USA score in that first half, coming with 1:07 to go in the second quarter. But all USA here in half number 2. And with just 4 seconds left, just the kickoff, and that should be in game 1 of 8 this week here at AT&T Stadium. Greg and I will have the U.S. Under-19 select team against Canada Under-18 about a half hour after we are done with this one here. And that game, as all the others will be this week here on ESPN3. And we'll still have to wait that kick out of bounds. And so Canada will have one try at it. And you're here on the USA sideline, D, because all of a sudden they have to come out if Canada accepts the penalty and takes the field position. USA defense will have to be on the field for one more play as Sean Aguano is about to get awfully soaked.
And a worthy celebration for Sean Aguano, a guy who really, talking to him before the game, he mentioned, one of the problems is that you don't have a ton of time to pull this team together. You don't have a ton of time to get everybody playing together. He has spotted the water cooler.
Yeah, I don't think you could see it on your screen watching at home, but he spotted
away.
it, and
he is on the move.
It is keep away
there
so
he goes. They are trying. He's hanging by the referee. You can't do that.
Canada takes a knee, and it's over, and there's the bath. Sean Aguano, head coach of the USA National Under-19 squad. They defeat Canada Under-19 team by a score of 33-0. Really great on both sides to see the quality of football. We expected it from the U.S. Canada looked maybe even better than advertised. Too much USA as the game went along, but I think I'm very impressed by what Canada showed today as well.
I'll tell you that I think that the United States played about as well as I thought they were going to play. I think that they had the athletes, and you started to see those athletes really make their presence felt as the game wore on. I think Canada exceeded my expectations. This Canadian team is on the rise. The U-19, Canada football, Football Canada rather, is in a good hands right now. The way that they are trending upward is very positive for the sport in Canada. United States, though, I think pretty thoroughly the better team today. It's disappointing for the Canadian side, but worthy victors for the United States.
And a trophy ceremony on the field as all the USA and Canadian players remain following this 33-0 win for the U.S. national team over Team Canada. Coming up in about a half hour, come back to ESPN3. The U.S. Under-19 select team will take on the Canada Under-18 squad. For Greg Tepper and our entire great crew, I'm David Salzman saying so long from AT&T Stadium. Again, the final. The U.S. Under-19 national team defeats Canada's Under-19 squad 33-0. Thank you for watching the International Bowl, a presentation of USA Football on ESPN3.